Hi, today we are going to start the series of linked list and all other data structures which are there in data structure algorithms. Data structural algorithms are little difficult for the students to understand because they are not understanding the theory concept as well as the practical concepts of it. So we will try in our series to start from the core. We will start with the theory and then we will go to the practicals. Okay, let me start with the things that is linked list, the very you can say the major part of your DSA, that is a linked list. So first we will try to understand for a non-IT student and for IT student what linked list exactly is and what are the different features, what are the different types, and then we will move to the practicals of the linked list. Imagine you have a row of houses, but instead of being neatly arranged on a single street, each house has a note inside it pointing to the next house, which is not in a practical. But if we take the case, you can only find the next house by reading the note in the current house. This is simple way to understand linked list in computer science. You can repeat in your mind and just go through these lines. So that means when I say linked list is a concept, it is a way to store the data. Instead of storing the items like numbers or words in a fixed sequence like an array, linked list store each item in separate node, isn't it? So we will see in practicals also in the next session. Each node contains the data you want to store and a link or a pointer to the next node in the sequence. Okay, we will see graphically also, but we are going through the theory first. Now the next thing is why we are using linked list and what are the key features of linked list. So it is dynamic in size, as we mentioned, the pointers and all. So unlike the arrays, linked list can grow or shrink, isn't it? Array was a static type, as we have already worked with the arrays. Non-contiguous storage, that means in case of arrays we were working with the contiguous memory, one after the another. Nodes can be stored anywhere in the memory. Sequential access, you must start at the beginning and follow the link to find a specific node. We will see that in practicals also. Now if I am working with linked list, what are the different types of linked list over there? There can be for any conventional programming, whether you are working with C, C++, Java, C#, Python, or you are working with JavaScript. The language which we have chosen, that is JavaScript, for the linked list or other DSA algorithms for these series. Single linked list is there. Each node is pointing to the next node in one direction. As you can see in the example, there will be a node 1, it is pointing to node 2, it is pointing to node 3. We will see in practical how it is going to be, because there should be 70% of practical and 30% of theory. So in this session we are going to cover the theory part, and in the next session we are going to cover the practical part. Double linked list means it can have a one starting point which can be a null, or at the end also can be a null. That means it can start from this and it can start from this position. We will see. There is one more thing called as circular linked list, the last node pointing back to the first node, forming a circle. Now when we see component of the linked list, okay, if the linked list is there, if the boxes are connected with each other, what are the different components over there? So we can say there is a node terminology. Node means a box which is containing two parts. One will be the value and one will be the address of the next, right? Head will be the first node in the linked list, because see, when the list is connected like one box, another box, and another box like this, but there should be one starting point for it. Like if you take an example of a train, if a train is there, it has a particular engine which is used for driving the train, right? If engine will not be there, so a particular train will not move from the platform. It's similar to that. So head will be a node which will store the address of the first node. When we take the example of tail, that is the last node, which will always contain the null as a next value. Why? Because after that there will be a no node. That's the reason it will be a null as a last. So in if we say component of a linked list and how it will be in a memory, it will be in this way. So there will be a head, there will be a value, and each value, each node is connected with the another, and at the last the address will be null. This will be the starting point, this will be a address, and how we are going to implement in practical, that will be with the help of classes. We have already worked with the help of the classes, so we will work with the classes and we will encapsulate the both things together in that particular box, that is the address part and the next part. Now when we say okay, how basically it is going to in a real life thing. So imagine you are a librarian and you have a series of books but no bookshelf is there, isn't it? Each book contain a story, that is a data, a note, that direction to the next book if you have no bookshelves and all. So read the story in order, start the first book, that is a head, follow the directions, pointer to the next book, continue until each you will complete one book and you reach the last book, that is a tail. This is, you can say, a simple example. Just go through this slide and you will see what is the example of that. So in this way you can work with the linked list. That means you have to start with the head, then you have to move to the next node, then the next node, and you have to reach to the null. When we say okay, I'm going to use linked list, I'm going to make the practical programs out of it, even with the JS or with the C or with the C++ or with the JavaScript, then why use linked list? Due to its flexibility, you can easily add or remove the items without worrying about shifting others. Like we have to shift, as we have worked with the arrays concept, we don't have to shift here. Memory management is very high now. Nodes use memory only when they need it, not like the array we have to allocate the memory as it is, as we were doing in the case of arrays. Now for example, if I take a practical example, there are the numbers 10, 20, 30. How they will be in a linked list for a non-IT, because this all thing is for non-IT and IT students. You should have a core concept first, then you can go to the practical. This is the main thing why students are in a dilemma, that whether it's difficult or easy, or we should go for DSA or not, because it is very tough. It is not tough if you are really go with theory and the practical today, right? Node 1, data is 10 pointing to the node 2. Node 2, data is 20 pointing to the node 3. Node 3 will contain 30 and it will point to the null because it is the end of the list. So if diagrammatically you have to put, you can put like one node with the two values, then the second, and then the third. We will see diagrammatically also, and we will see one by one all the operations which are there in the linked list in the coming sessions. So this is all for the basic core concept of linked list. In the coming session, we are working with the practicals and all. We will work in JS. You can let me know in which language you want to. So I'll definitely make a video on that also. That's it for today. Please share, subscribe and like if you really find this information useful. Thank you for watching.